Hey everybody, this is Frostbite. Decided to do a little impromptu live stream to kind of go through a couple items that I was just able to obtain. Now, one of the things that I'm going to be looking at is the silver and dime rolls that I was able to get. Now, these came from a friend of mine. Thank you to her. Try to clean up and get set up. This is kind of impromptu, so I apologize for not being set up. I'm trying one of the new setups, so we'll see how this works. Again, I'm going to have to be jumping back and forth. But what we got going on here was I was fortunate enough to be working with a friend of ours who had their father pass away, and their father had passed away for a little bit of time. So I mean, it's been 2.5 years, and one person um, reached out to me and said, "I would like to find out a little bit more about what we have." Um, Got to split it between my brother and I, and so I said, "Would you be willing to go in and look at all of these with us?" And so I sat down with them and was able to go through some of their stuff. And while they were doing that, they gave me dimes, and these dimes were meant to fill these two books that I have here. So I have my 46 to 64 Roosevelt dime book, and then I have the Mercury dime book that I have been working on for a little bit of time now. Got a couple of Spell Mercs over here, but these are mixed. So some of them have Mercury dimes in them, some of them are just Rosies. Some of them are in extremely good shape. Some of them are more along the lines of the bullion quality that you see over here on the screen, kind of down here, down below. And so when we're looking at the coins today, I'm just kind of going to be looking through and seeing what we have. So I'm going to go ahead and begin. So I'm going to actually turn the light up a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't drown out. It doesn't drown that out. Let's see what that does. No, that's too blue. There we go. That's better color. All right. And then I'm going to be scoping these. These are a couple coins over here that I was able to find with them. These kind of freaked me out because when I first saw them, again, it was 1908, 1909. We were just praying, praying that we would find an S mint mark on the back of these. Unfortunately, you flip both of these over and you will see that they in fact are not. And both of these coins were in fact cleaned. Oops, let me get these up here so you can see them. But again, still cool. There are fillers in the book. So I'm having a difficult time getting those to align. My camera is backwards on this. So, all right. Yeah, now you can see. So no mint mark. So unfortunately, they were not S's, but again, still not a big deal. I was very happy to get these two. So let's go ahead and go on. Now I'm going to be back and forth between a couple of these windows so that I can see these in real time. So I'm going to dump these over here. A majority of these particular ones are going to be, I'm going to set that here. I'm not going to be utilizing these tubes or these rolls when I'm done. I'm going to throw those away. And I'm going to be putting them in the plastic. So for the ones that don't go in the book, they are going to go here. So I'm going to set that off to the side. And again, if I find stuff that doesn't go in there. So we're going to start with this book. And then we'll be going through all of these. So I'm going to do these down here. And again, they're mixed. So I will have to be going back and forth between my Mercury dime book and my, wish I had another camera that I could do one with the Mercury book. Maybe I'll try to do that next time. Good work on this StreamYard thing with the changes that they made. It's pretty cool. I like that we're able to change the setup. Hey, what's up, Constitutional? How you doing, man? Appreciate you coming in. You want to pop on up for just a few moments? If you do, let me know. I'll throw the link in there. Here. Come on up, dude. So again, I'm just going to kind of go through these. Most of this stuff is just going to be your constitutional silver. Again, there's going to be a lot of these. Most of these are going to go here. I'm just going to put the really nice ones. All of these are going to be the 64 and earlier. There's not going to be any 65s in here. So I'm going to be putting everything, and this was Philadelphia. Okay. So, but I thought it was really cool of her to offer to give me these so that I could work on this book and get this done. Again, I don't really know what all is in here. So we got 63 Philly. But most of these are in really, really nice shape. We will find the occasional Merc. I don't have too many of the 40s, and I'm going to be throwing all of those into the same bin. Doesn't really matter. There are some Barbers in here. Unfortunately, I don't have a book for Barbers, so that'll just go kind of into the side. It's a really pretty Merc. That's a really pretty Merc. Love the toning on that. And unfortunately, there's a little bit of damage there on the torch, but that's a really, really, really nice specimen. So I'm going to have to set that one aside. That one's not going to go in the book. All right, 1959, and that is a 1959 Denver. All right. So how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. Again, this was impromptu. This was not planned. This was not something I was expecting to do. But just like everything else, you know, things come up. Yeah, man, I understand. I get it. Nonstop. You're here just listening. Thanks for being up. I appreciate you stopping by. Again, if you didn't hear already, the lady that I was able to go through, my friend, to get 67. Okay, that one is out of place. I was able to get over and help her go through. We were able to find a whole lot of really, really cool stuff. 64D. We were able to find, she had, her father had a fairly decent collection. We weren't sure what we were going to find. We were able to find 37 Libertads from 1990, 1991. We had almost 60 ASEs from 87, 95, and 91. We had 20 kookaburras that we found from 1990. We found some large scents braided hair, the regular ones. We found bust halves, dimes, barber halves, barber dimes, barber quarters. We found seated half dimes, seated quarters. Hey, Bill Driscoll, thanks for coming in. Really cool. It was absolutely fabulous to be able to to go through this stuff with her. Again, we were going through this. We had no idea what we were going to find, if we were even going to find anything, simply because none of their family knew that her dad was collecting. He wasn't, that he was stacking. And so this was all kind of a surprise to her. So I already forgot which one this was. That is a 49 filling. And so to be able to go through and look at the information and say, this is what we have, and this is the coin that we have, and this is the year, this is the story behind it. 63D was just, it was really cool. It was cool to have that conversation. 1928 Mercury. So do we have a 28? We do have a 28. Mine is better. And we just got to sit and have really, really cool. Hey, Josh C671, thanks for coming up. Appreciate you being here. We got a 1946. So again, for those of you that are coming in a little bit late, what we got here is we got 4 rolls of silver dimes. I helped somebody go through their father's coin collection. He died a couple years ago, and they just finally went through the Foot Locker, going through all the stuff, and they gave me some coins so that I would be able to work on my books as kind of a thank you for the work and the reviewing and getting everything set up. So that's a pretty one. That's nice. That is Jam. Actually, that one's not going to go in there. That one's going to go in another one. Try to keep these really, really nice ones set up in different stacks. But it was really cool to be able to go through and get everything set up. We ended up going to a place here in San Antonio. I'm going to throw the link in the description, called Alamo Coins and Antiques, I believe. Just really good people. 1941S. I think I already have 41S. Yeah, 41S. This one is, that one's in better shape. But they were able to kind of go through and give her a really good market value. Some of the coins that we were able to find in her set, she had 180 Benjis that were various years. Don't worry, we did look through them. No, 1918. Okay, so do we have 1918? We do have 1918, but that one is trash, so we're going to replace that one. This is a much better one. The coin store that we went to did her really well. Took really good care of her and made sure that they gave her fair market value, gave her good prices on all the stuff. I know that Shannon had popped over one of the screen shares. I'll try to show some photos here in a few moments. 46, already got that one. And what we were able to find, it just was amazing to not be aware of kind of what we were going to get into, what kind of stuff we were going to find, were we going to find, just junk coin? Were we going to find, Lincoln Memorial cents? We didn't know what we were going to locate. We had no idea what we were going to run into. And to be able to look at the coins and find that we had some very, very, very nice silver and some really nice old coins. I'll be showing, as soon as we're done putting these books together, as we're going through these 4 rolls of dimes, I'll show you some of my typeset album of stuff that they gave me. And then I'll show you coins that I have in my typeset album that they found. Obviously, they're in their own. And Hey, Sheena, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, Josh, that was the thing. When they called me, it was more of one of those things as, hey, we don't know what we have. And I had worked with these people a few years ago, and so kind of kept in contact with them. Hadn't talked with them a lot, but had kept in contact with them. And they're like, hey, we heard that you're doing your YouTube thing, that you're looking at coins and stuff like that. Hey, John McBride, thank you for being up here. Appreciate you swinging on in. Um, and but we were able to kind of just uh, just identify some really good stuff. And she ended up being she profited really well. Carrie Z, hey, thanks for coming up, Carrie Z. Appreciate you stopping in. So just as a refresh for everybody who doesn't already know, um, I just finished. I was invited to look at a collection of somebody's coins. Their father had passed away some time ago, and they had had these coins put away, put aside. And they are like, hey, Frostbite, we know that you do this. Would you be interested in looking at these coins and kind of going through this? And I was like, absolutely. I would love to be able to sit with you and work with you and see what we can find. Um, and so we were able to go through their stuff. We found a couple really, really nice varieties. A really nice 1894 or 1884, no, 1828 bust half. Absolutely gorgeous. Found some seated dimes, half dimes, some great, great, great shaped barbers. Just really, really nice stuff. And it was a lot of fun to be able to look through stuff and go, hey, your dad actually collected some extremely good coins. Um, so what I'm doing is I'm looking through some of the dimes that they gave me. 710, what's going on? Thanks for coming up. Appreciate you being here. Um, and so for all the work, I don't know what that is. Is that a counter stamp or is that? No, it actually looks like it's peeled back. That is actually, that looks like it's damaged. I'm going to set that aside. I have to go back and look at that one. That looks like it's damaged. So we got 57 Denver. But yeah, it was really cool to be able to go through. And so we were able to get her um a good fair market value for all of her stuff. But for the effort, she gave me 4 rolls of unsearched dimes. Yeah, Bill, I'm trying to find. Let me zoom into that. What I can't tell is I can't tell if something hit it, pulled it back, or if this is an issue with the planchette. It does look like, yeah, it has folded over. So very cool. So, but yeah, there were some really cool things that we were able to find. I'm going to set this there. Raise this back up so we can see these coins. But again, for all my effort, they gave me 4 rolls of these silver dimes. And I mean, way more than I could have ever asked for. They were extremely gracious. I wasn't asking for anything. I had been very clear with them that the reason that I was doing this was to help them out and to share in discovery, right? And see if I could find something that was 1952. See if we could find something that was new and unique, or see if it was just junk, if we were just going to be locating crap. And we ended up finding actually quite a bit of stuff. It was very, very nice to be able to find um, some of these things. And again, some of these coins, not just the dimes, but some of the coins in general, were absolute mint states. Now there's a roll of quarters that they had that they turned in. that were all, I mean, they were just all BU. They were gorgeous. And, I mean, I didn't have the money to buy half of what they were selling, which I would have loved to, especially the Benjis, because they had 180 Benjis that they turned in. And it was kind of a sad thing to watch them go away. But we did look for specific years. So we were looking at things like the 1941 or the 1949S. We were looking at the 48, 53. So we were looking for some of those things to see if we could find anything. There wasn't anything really of significance. So that's good. We didn't turn anything without knowing kind of what we had. Um, but she was able to uh, get some good information. Now, one of the things that came from this is a really pretty 63. One of the things that came from this was confirmation that you never take your first coin show or your LCS quotes. And the reason that we say that is because when she reached out to the one in her local area back in Wilmington, they quoted her a total price that was like $1,500 less than what was the value that she got here locally. Plus, because she was able to do it here before she transferred back home, she didn't have to worry about things like shipping costs. Now, with that being said, I've got to do a huge shout out to Coin Crew and Miss Coin Crew because while we were going through this, I was able to reach out to them and ask questions and get clarifications on potential price points, things that we could expect, and kind of get some ideas for how much something would go for. Keith was amazing to do that. I actually tried to get to where they would be the one purchasing. Unfortunately, because of, like I said, shipping costs, and the fact that she didn't really want to try to transport it while they drove back from here to there. Fully understandable. Can't complain at all. That's full torque. That's gorgeous. That she was able to find something here locally. So it made me really happy that she was able to do that and have it be done, so she didn't have to worry about carting that thing around because the amount of money was significant for her, and so that made me really happy that she was able to get that taken care of. But from a numismaticist standpoint, to be able to kind of sit down and look at some of these coins and go, this is amazing. Paula, hi Paula, how are you doing, my friend? Do you have time to come up? Do you want to come up and visit and hang out for a few moments? If you do, I will throw the thing in chat. It should be there for you now. If you want to come up and visit with me, please let me know. I would be happy to have you on board. 1939. Let's see, do I have 39? Oops. Wrong one. And I do believe I do. I do, and that was in better shape. All right. So I changed the layout. So if she comes up, I got to figure out where she's going to pop up. I think she'll still pop up in the back. But anyway, so it was really cool to be able to kind of go through and just share in some stories and hear some really cool things, catch up with a friend, but just be able to share my love for the hobby. I learned some things, was able to reach out to, again, Keith. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I'm going to make sure I'm tagging you here. 43. Just for being able to be able, for me to reach out to you and say, hey, yeah, click on that link, Paula, come on up. I would appreciate you being up. It's always fun to talk. I love you. There she be. You know what I like about the new StreamYard thing is it screams at you now. It beeps at you when somebody comes into the back.
Is it beeping at you?
Yeah, so it's like beep. It's like,
yeah,
hey.
you don't have to change your layout. Just leave me here. I don't have my camera on anyway, so.
Yeah. So, how are
I
you?
see how you have it. Oh, you used the new layout thing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I haven't played with it yet.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. I was like, oh man, this is going to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's actually really cool. So I was able to put, because what I want to look at over here on these. Oh, it doesn't do it over here.
Yeah.
That you can see the dimes. So when you're looking at it, it's like, okay, so this is
Yeah, you just added different cameras.
Yeah. So I have my book, and then I have the coin, and then I have the other one that's sharing the screen. Hey, Spray Can, thanks for coming up. Appreciate you being here.
That looks like it works out great. Yeah, I haven't played with it yet, but I'm excited for it. I just watched this morning their whole presentation about it and stuff.
Yeah, so I figured, I was like, well, I'm going to be doing this anyway, so why not do a quick little impromptu live stream and just play with it? Because, I mean, what can go wrong?
Right? Well, you've been on Ida's in the morning. You know what can go wrong. Come on.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things where if I have 15 people in here, I'm doing good. So it's not like it's going to be this massive catastrophic. Ida's got, 30, 40, 50, 100 people in her stream.
You just keep doing what you're doing. You will grow. Trust me. Hey, Josh, Bill, Spray Can. Yeah, you just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great.
So I wanted to ask, did you see the last one on the errors?
The last one on the die cracks and die breaks?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I did.
How was that one?
It was good. It was good. I was a little worried when you had the Roosevelt with like the big die break on it that you were saying it was, but you didn't. You later on in the video you said it was a major die break. But I was like, oh no, don't call that a die crack.
No, I didn't realize that I had put the wrong item in there.
Oh,
and when I was watching it afterwards, I was like, yeah, that's not the right image.
Yeah, but you cleared it up later on, so it's fine. I mean, it had die cracks. It definitely has die cracks on it too. So, but that's a nice one too. That big old die break on that Roosevelt. And there's actually so there's a Jefferson nickel like it, but there's actually a struck through cap die with that die break.
Really?
Yes. And with the Jefferson nickel too, and I actually have one of the struck through cap dies with the die break.
And you're sending it to me when?
And I'm not. Come on, you watched me long enough to know that I would rather pull my teeth out with my toes.
Oh no, yeah, I'm just kidding you. Yeah, this is.
I could never be a dealer. I don't think.
Well, yeah, I mean, I go through it. I was talking to the place where we did the exchange for the person that I was helping out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is, so I mean, I've done one other one of these, and they were like, oh, my cousin was a collector and they passed away, and can you help us go through coins? And then we get there and it's 3 5-gallon jugs of Lincoln cents.
Oh no.
And it's like, I'll go through a few of these with you, but no. And so they're like, well, we don't know what we have. He really didn't collect anything. So, and I'm going, they're talking about the era of the collector that, hoarded every kind of coin and put gold away and put dollar bills in the freezer.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to check all their cereal boxes and everything in the pantry.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, when he died, they had to go through everything. So when you're thinking about that, it's like, so you don't know, what are they, a hoarder or are they a collector? Because
Right.
anybody who went through the depression, they saved their money. Like they really paid attention to their money. And so I was like, well, we may find something, we may not. And I got there and she was like, okay, so I have all these ones with the lady on it. But how did she say it? She goes, I have all these ones with the person on it. And I kind of smiled at her and I was like, uh, and she goes, no, the lady, the one with the son. And I was like, oh, Walter. Yeah, ASEs. And she pulled out 3 tubes of them.
Oh, wow.
And then she turned around and she pulled out 2 tubes of Libertadas. Well,
Nice.
almost 2 tubes. And I was like, I think your dad knew what he was doing.
Nice.
And so then we started going through pennies, and I was like, okay, so we got some pennies here. My fifth penny in was 1909s.
Oh, man.
And I looked at her and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah.
Oh,
um,
man.
yeah. So we found a couple key dates. I found she gave me these two, and these ones kind of made my heart skip. So we found, and it was like, oh, please be an S.
Oh,
And it wasn't.
oh, that's okay.
And then the very next coin was, and it was like, oh,
Oh, come on.
please be an S. And it wasn't. So
Oh,
there were a
man.
lot of those that, like, she had a lot of uh, 49 Benjis, but none of them were the S.
Nothing wrong with those coins, though. I don't
Yeah.
mind. It's pretty nice, actually. So,
So I got, she did give me a couple of them. Uh, she gave me like a bunch of coins. For helping her out. Just saying,
oh,
well, if you have a dime book that you're working on, oh, well, why don't you just take the dimes? And I was like,
oh,
um, there's like barbers and seeded. She goes, well, the seeded ones are going in the book, but and she's like, I know what those are.
mhm.
But it was just cool to be like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Because that's like, it's a bunch of money.
How fun.
So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. So now I figured I'm going to go through and um, fill my book out. You can see that in one roll we've got a good chunk of the Rosies done,
Nice.
and I still got 2 rolls left. Right, so I think that when I'm done, there's only going to be a couple left over,
Hmm.
because most of his rolls were basically like he was prepping for books.
Oh, excellent.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm finding a lot of these really, and I mean, the Gem BU uh, these dimes are not. I mean, they're not worth a ton, but you see them and they're nice. They're pristine. They're shiny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. So, how was your day? What did you do today?
Oh my gosh. So my kids and my grandkids, my son and daughter-in-law, and my 4 grandkids are moving in with me tomorrow.
Oh, you talked about
And
that earlier.
yeah. So today we got the carpet cleaned in the bedroom, and it's just kind of a mess. Everything is just a mess. I apparently am a hoarder. I'm a
With
hoarder.
coins or just in general?
No, just everything. Just everything. Yeah, I had things. Uh, oh yeah. Anyway, it was not pretty. I had a fire like 10 years ago, and I promised myself after that house fire that I was not going to be like that again, where I had like 10 junk drawers. And because when you have a house fire, anything that's left over that didn't burn up, you have to like inventory down to like toothpicks. I mean, everything. So that was a pain. So I swore I was not going to be that person again. Well, apparently, I'm that person again because I went through and got through so much crap away. It's And it's not that I have a problem throwing stuff away. It's just I stick stuff places. And it's like, oh, I'll take care of that later.
I understand that one completely.
Yeah, I'm like a little mouse, that apparently like hides things everywhere in the house. So anyway, so it's been very, I'm trying to look at the positives. It's been nice to kind of purge stuff and be forced to purge stuff. Anyway, but yes, coins. The coins are ridiculous. I came across under my bed, and because my son and daughter-in-law are taking over my bedroom, and I'm sleeping in my office. Underneath my bed in my bedroom was it had to be a large flat rate box full of wheat cents that I forgot I'd had. Full. And I mean like bank bags that I had bought, like bank bags full, and oh my gosh, I'm a mess. That's why I said when I say I won't sell anything,
You're quite literal that you're not going
I'm
to sell anything.
quite literally saying yeah. And I know that 90% of those wheat cents I have never looked at. So yeah, I tucked them away for a rainy day.
Yeah, I bought those bags, and
Hmm.
I'm at the second one going, I don't know if I want to go through any more of these.
Yeah, it gets a little tedious after a while.
Well, and the thing is all I'm doing was sorting them. I'm
Sorting
just
days.
sorting into penny boxes by year, right? And
Yeah,
going, holy cow, this is a lot of work.
yeah, yeah. That probably was exactly why I stuck them under my bed 4 years ago.
I can see that.
And I mean, I can't say that I really forgot that they were there because I clean under my bed, I vacuum under my bed and stuff, but I would just pull it out and push it back. And yeah, and there it sat. So anyway, it's a mess. I have coins everywhere, literally. But it could be worse problems, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's a few things that I think could be a little bit worse than that.
Could be worse. Yeah, I could have worse problems.
So nobody's really entering anything into chat, and so
See that?
I
I
think we
probably
all
like
need to like speak or do something and let me know that we're not just here yapping between the two of us.
maybe I scared them all away. It's gonna be
I
like
doubt that. They're probably like, "What's this monotone dude doing looking at dimes?"
he's looking for the good stuff. Hey, Philip the board.
Hey, what's up, Philip? Thanks for coming in, brother. I was thinking about you when I was going through all of these
Amanda.
and seeing all of these Mercs and going, the reason I have most of these is because of you.
Philip the board.
Amanda, how are you? I'm too busy lurking and don't have time to chat.
She's
Do you,
always
want,
looking.
do you want to come up and say hi and visit for a few moments? I would love to have you if you want to come up.
She's always lurking. Me and Amanda, both of us probably, well, I can speak for myself, but I'm sure she's doing the same thing. I keep looking at the email inbox. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it later. There's so many in there. Like, yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's crazy, Bill. We have so many emails right now. But here we are. I think we lost him.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
That was
I think
weird.
the power flickered and then it was like, hey, where'd my stuff go?
I was afraid I scared you away too.
No, that was really weird. All right, let's load back up here. Now let's get this stuff set up and see if
I know, Amanda. I did like 60 the other day, and barely made it then.
Yeah, so it's actually really easy to use the feature to get all your stuff set right back up. I went right back into my screens, no issue.
Yeah, it doesn't it? It just adds it down at the bottom, like where you used to just have like 6 different layouts. It just adds different layouts down there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So you just click on it, then when you open up that particular item, it shows up. So
You know what? That'll be really nice for you making videos if you use StreamYards to make your videos.
I do, and this is going
Mhm.
to be very nice to have the different screens because you can have like a presentation screen, you can have your coin screen, and then you
Yeah,
can have a picture of yourself,
yeah, super.
and do the OBS without the OBS headache.
Right. Yeah, that's what it's like, right?
So Philip, I thought about you when I saw this one.
Toner, pretty.
Silver Fox, how are you doing? Thanks for coming up. Yeah, it's actually the only thing that made me sad because look at how nice the band lines and everything are these
Hmm.
scratches. That made
I can't. Oh, I can see him now. Okay, yeah.
that made me sad.
Hmm.
That's gorgeous torch. Or what do they call that? It's not a torch. It's
A fascies.
fasces. That's right. It's the fascist dime. Yeah, it made me sad when I saw that. I was like, oh, that's so sad. Because that's gorgeous coin. So, oh well, say la vie is what it is.
I
So
haven't looked at them, Amanda. I went out and got myself something to eat. Morgan left just a little while ago. We finished the cleaning the carpet. This is the first time I've sat down today and just done nothing. So as soon as I get off here, I'll look at them, Amanda. I'm sure they're great.
Amanda, do you want to come up and visit for a bit?
You
She's like,
want me
no,
to
I
come
got
up
work
and
to do.
talk? I know. I never ignore you, Amanda.
So I'm actually quite happy with the amount of variety in these because I mean, like I said, I got
You need to
2
look at,
rolls left, and I'm more than halfway done with my book.
make sure you're looking at those mint marks real good before you put them in your book because there's some nice varieties on Roosevelt's. I mean, not just RPMs, but there's some nice varieties on them.
So in other words, go back through these
Go
and
back. I shouldn't have said anything. Sorry.
no, it's okay. So let's do this. That's not a put that aside. So when I'm looking at the Denvers, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the repunch mint marks.
You're looking for repunched mint marks. Hang on
Okay.
a second. Hang on. Let me go pull up Rosie's. Somebody in our
Take your time, Amanda. No worries. I appreciate you. Just come up and visit and hang out for a little while. I appreciate you being here.
I mean, there's nice, double dyes and things too, but there's RPMs on up to 1969 on every day. And then
Okay.
there's,
That gives me a lot to look for.
83, 87, and 88, and 71. But up to 69 and then let's look. There's lots of DDOs too. Anyway.
No, I don't have both of those. Okay, let's start a
That's
new
why I
book.
don't watch like coin roll hunters and stuff, the $50 hunters and stuff, because I get very triggered because they don't look for stuff.
Yeah,
Like, wait a minute.
when they're just flying through them, not
Uh-huh.
looking for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I'm like right now, all I'm doing is looking at, book fills.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to have to do then is kind of stop and go, and I'll start with the rolls first and just zoom in and say, okay, what mint marks do we have? What do I have to look for?
Yeah, I have a hard time with when people do like penny box battles and stuff too. I actually did one. Oh my gosh, it had to be like a year ago with Ida and them. And you just keep score of like wheat cents and Canadians and things like that. I still have that box, the cents from that box waiting to be looked through. I've not turned them into the bank yet because I need to look through them. It's a sickness.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like you want to collect, you want to keep getting,
Hmm.
but at what point do you keep getting where you're never going to look at them?
The point I'm at.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just like I'm not I'm not expecting to, and I already have 36. I'm not expecting to get there for a little while, but I
Yeah.
think I've only been collecting. I mean, genuinely, probably 6 months,
Yeah.
and uh, go. I got a lot of crap. Like, where did it all come
Mhm.
from?
It
Right?
it piles up
Yeah.
fast.
How quickly did it come up?
Well, my biggest problem is that I used to, search my coins all the time. But when Sean joined the Q&A, our email like exploded. I am searching other people's coins so much now that I don't have time to search my own. Which, I mean, it's fine. I love doing it, but I would love to be able to have a little bit of time to search my own.
Oh, I got you. Well, and you guys get so much correspondence.
Yeah, I get a lot.
You're always having to look through and read and find stuff, and I'm like, I can't imagine what you guys have to do. I don't know how you guys would collect your own stuff.
Well, I did plenty of collecting before we started this, so I'm already ahead of the game, fortunately. But we are really lucky that the group that we have, we all love what we do, and we love to, help people out.
Oh yeah, well that's
Mhm.
evident.
Yeah.
You listen to the group and how they rise on each other, and you know,
Hmm.
you take it, you do this, you come in, you pull this off. Hey, who's going to go through this? Hey, you research this. This is supposed to be my coin, but why don't you come up and do this? I'm always fascinated to watch. Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
I'm always fascinated to watch this and go. Uh, it's just how do you guys manage all this stuff?
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. We got to crack the whip every once in a while on those boys, though. Right, Amanda?
Yep.
Well, I can't tell you two how much I appreciate you.
Hmm.
Um, you two have been a huge saving grace for me in my learning.
No, you're doing great. You
I
know,
I appreciate it, and I'm always going. Okay, did you? Oh, did you notice my call out for you, Paula?
did I notice your call out? No, okay.
I called you out in my error video.
You did?
I did, but it
I
was
must have
so
missed that because
subtle.
I
It was
watched the
so, so,
whole
so
video.
subtle. Do you know the part where it's the little air bubble and it's like, it's a double die? No, it's not. It's an error. And it's like, no, it's damage.
The little air on your die crack one?
No, so yeah, where they're doing the die. No, well, it's where they're doing the dies. So they're talking about, we're talking about the doubling.
Oh, the NQs.
The, so there's a little, not the incuse one. It's another one where we're talking about. I'm talking about the air. I'll pull it up and show you.
Yeah, I'll have to, yeah. Or I
But
could go look
anyway, I've looked at the same coin like 7 times because I couldn't remember the mint mark.
it.
Um, but anyway, what I did is over here. So let's say this is the screen. Over here in the bottom corner,
Hmm.
I put your name in one of the little bubbles because it's like, no, it's a damage.
Oh, you did? Oh, I did not see
Oh,
that.
and I was like,
Oh,
I'm gonna see if she picks up on this because it's
I
hilarious.
did not pick up on that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
You're always like, it's
I
not
am.
it's not doubling. It's
It's not.
it's not. So I was like, I'm gonna call her out. I'm gonna just be fun and do that because I thought if she catches it, she's gonna say something. She'll laugh.
Oh my gosh, that is his. I did not catch it. I'll have to go back and watch
So
it.
fun stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. I know, I do. I do burst a lot of bubbles. I do. The bad thing is that like I'll be in somebody's thing, just hanging out, having fun, whatever, and then they'll ask me a question, and I have to. I'm not gonna lie, I like. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Like, oh crap, that just ruined that for me.
Well, and you've done it with me. It's like, well, do you
I
mind if I
know.
tell you something? And it's like,
What?
uh-oh.
Oh, I know.
I clearly have mistaken something or whatever. But again, I mean, you don't learn unless you listen, right? So
Yeah, and I'm not doing you any favors if I lied to you, right? So
yeah, don't lie to me.
thanks, spray can. Spray can's been at the, he's been at that end of the stick, huh, spray can. But he asked, it was his own fault. If you don't want to know, don't ask me.
Well, like I
Amanda's
said, I
really good
appreciate it.
at it too, you guys. She just doesn't talk about it. She bursts people's bubbles all the time too. So
Well, I don't hear Amanda talk very much.
no, she doesn't. She types a lot though.
Yeah, but I'm impressed. The spreadsheet that you put together
Right.
for St. Jude and the way you guys pulled that off. You two, yeah, I mean, the entire team crushed it.
It's
But
fun.
that spreadsheet, the way that it was set up and the way that you guys did the duplication and verification and validation of everything, you guys did such an amazing job.
Yeah. Look, I'm not taking credit for nothing. I was just up there and I'm not really sure why Ida wanted me up there, but I was up there. I think she was, I did some research on a few coins here and there for her. I think that that's why she wanted me and Shannon there in the first place, was just like, okay, you're coin people. We have coins in case somebody has a question. But I was so honored just to be able to be a part of that. Like, that was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. It
Oh,
was really cool.
so cool. It was so cool. And this community, so I've been in the coin community for a long time, and Amanda has too. She's been in longer than I have. And we've
Oh, damn.
seen,
She just called you out, Amanda. Did you hear that?
it's true, she's the old timer. But you see people come and go, and you see a lot of good people, and then every once in a while there's that rotten apple that comes in. And then sometimes there's little cliques that form that try to tear the community apart and stuff. But then you get the St. Jude's auction, where people put all of their um, hard feelings against other people and everything completely to the side, push all that away, and the good comes out. And it's so good to see that. When you get kind of burnt out because there's drama going on and stuff, but then you get that, and it just renews your faith in the community. It's so amazing to see that. We've had that happen before, where like when Amy Uper Girl, I don't know if you might not have been around when she was around for a long time in the coin community, and she got sick. She got pancreatic cancer. And people came together and helped out with that and stuff like that. When that happens, it really shows what a great community this is.
Yeah, the one thing that I've definitely seen in this community is the people coming together for a common good, whether that be for an individual or whether that be for, St. Jude or whether that be for some other thing.
Yeah.
Uh, Seen that on a number of occasions. But it doesn't matter what people try to do for good. There's going to be those people that are just the pain in the butts. They want to be the,
Mhm.
shit stirrers.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
but all in all, I mean, that was the St. Jude was fun. I was
So,
like, man, I am never going to win. I couldn't get the sniping freaking thing down. I kept losing all my bids.
oh, I know.
I kept telling Victoria, quit bidding against me.
I know, Victoria.
Like,
She's really good at that,
I
man.
can beat you. Hey, spray can.
She
Oh,
was
what's up?
patient.
Hey, Shannon, what's going on? And yes, I protected her from her turning those into the Coinstar. So she did not turn all of those Benjis into the Coinstar.
What?
No, she was like, well, I told her, I said, we'll just take these halves and we'll just, sell them. And she's like, oh, I'll just take them in. And I was like,
What?
no. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, no, these, I was like, the Kennedys, go ahead, take them to the Coinstar. Who cares? But no, not these. And
Did she even know they were silver?
oh no, she did, but she was just like, well, I mean, they're, well, what are you going to get for them?
Oh,
Yeah. And it was like, oh no, you can get some money for these, like, you can get good price for these. So I think she ended up getting like 850 for all 100 each 180 coins. So
wow.
no, 850 per coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she got a fair amount.
Hey, coin junkies. Yeah. So what's the melt value for 90%? Let me check that. You basically got like melt value for them, right? No numismatic value. Let's see,
I
Benji.
think just above it. Yeah, it wasn't.
840 is melt value.
Yeah, just above it.
Silver value, 840.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I wish I'd have had,
Money to buy them.
$1,000 to buy them all. But
Hey, Carrie.
I was definitely not complaining with what haul I got.
You guys should share him out. Make sure you hit that like. People need to know who Frostbite Coins is.
They're
Got
like,
some
oh,
good information.
that's the dad joke, dude.
The dad jumped in.
He's the guy that can't make up his mind whether he wants to tell dad jokes or look at coins.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Shannon. Well, whoever got those coins from her got a good deal.
Yeah, but she was happy. She got a good price. I was trying to get her to send them to Coin Crew
Oh yeah.
because I had called Keith and said, "Hey, let's talk about this. What's fair market value? What can you expect?" And he kind of walked through some of the stuff, and this is what you should be looking for. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, "I'm not comfortable with shipping it."
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only problem.
Yeah, I get that. And she wanted to just be done with it because she had to drive all the way back to North Carolina.
Oh, that
So
makes
she
sense.
didn't want to have all these coins in her car and have to be worried about.
Mhm.
But we did find, like I said, we did find some really cool coins. Let me show you one really quickly. I'm going to break from this and pull this out. Coin book, not the other. I'll add a little bit of clarifier when I say I'm going to pull it out.
Yeah, please clarify.
Yeah.
Or tell me to hide.
Yes. Okay. I'm not sharing that camera.
Thanks, Spray Cam.
How about that?
Oh, isn't she pretty? Mm-hmm. Did you get that from her?
Pretty.
Oh, that's lovely. Boy, we did coins right at one time.
Well, and we had a very, very good. Hey, Perry, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. We had a very long discussion about the way the coins are now and the way they were then. And
Yeah.
just when you look at the artistry of the coins from back then, it was like, man, we just.
Well, most of the, when you look back at the way they used to mint coins and stuff, most things were hand punched into the dies, and I mean, there was a lot of artistry that went on in time, and they just don't do them like they used to.
Well, I don't know what the hell that says, but
Is that a 16?
no, I don't
What was
think
the date on that?
19 maybe.
Oh, 19 probably, yeah. Yeah, 19.
Yeah, 19. 19 or 18. Probably 19.
Probably 19. It was loved.
Yeah, and if it's not an S, I don't need it. So I'm doing pretty good. I only need probably 10 more Merc dimes, and then in my Merc dime. Oops, I got my Merc dimes all done. Yeah, so we didn't find. We did find a couple barber dimes. There were two in this roll. But what we did is when we did the typeset book for her, because I told her, I was like, you want to trade and get a rid and do all these coins. Don't do that. Let's make you a typeset book, and you can have one or two varieties of each coin. And that way you can
hey, Perry.
look back at this and have something to remember your dad by.
Yeah.
Look at all the stuff that he put together. And you're getting your money from the silver that he stacked. So, you don't have to worry about, that, but keep one of everything, keep your seated liberties and keep your, standing liberties and keep all of those things.
Yeah.
And so we put together, I took all my flips and I took her coin book and made her a really nice typeset book.
Oh, very cool.
And so she was by the time she was done, because we talked about, it's like, why do they call it a barber? And it's like, well, let's talk about Henry. It was Henry Barber, right?
Charles
Barber. Let's talk about Charles Barber. So Charles Barber did this and this and this, and we pulled up some information. And so while we were sitting there, she was going over it, and then she would ask about Adolf Weinman, because we were looking at the Mercury dimes, and I'd already done the video on Adolf Weinman. So I had to watch one of the videos while we were sitting there, and it was a lot of fun for her to go, oh, wow.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So Coin Junkie, at the end of this, I picked something up today, and that is this. I know you're not going to be able to see that, but that is the Lincoln, where he's sitting there for the thumb.
Formative years.
Yep. So when I'm done, I'm going to open up this roll.
That's Coin Junkie's favorite.
Find one. Now I know The reason that I see the corn junkie is because he does this all the time.
He does.
He loves this particular error. I was on one of his streams when he found one live, and I was like, this dude loves these errors, like loves these errors. So I was like,
So
I'm not good at
I'm
this.
gonna get technical with you for a second.
It's not an error.
Thank you.
It's damage.
No, it's a variety.
It's variety. Okay.
It's a doubled die. It's a variety.
Okay.
So that
See?
you could do a video on that. Errors versus varieties. I'm going to challenge you.
Okay.
I challenge you to do a video on the difference between errors and varieties.
Done.
Perfect.
Done.
Perfect.
My next video is due to be released on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do that tomorrow, and I
Perfect.
will work on that, and then I'll reach out to you and say, can you please make sure I don't look like an idiot?
Yeah, perfect.
And you'll say, well, you look like an idiot, but you're right.
Because I know that you're like I am, and that's one of the best ways for you to learn.
Well, that's why I do the
To teach
videos.
it. Uh-huh.
That's why I do the videos. Yeah. And so for those that don't know, professionally, I'm a process improvement person. I work in medical quality, and my job is to look at processes and find out how do we make them better. And so the way that I do that is I teach myself through teaching others how it works. And then I have people who are smarter than me go, so that means it's like this. Like when you and I did the inclusion discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I
My
take a
theory
wave,
was correct, but
right. So if I take a wave and I flip it upside down,
Mhm.
and everything that I mentioned now is reversed, then that's what this is. And you're
Right.
like, yes. And so concept wise, it's like, okay, cool. Now, how the hell do I explain it to somebody? And that's when I learn, right? That's when the stuff gets settled in. So yeah, and I love doing that.
So you can do it one of two ways. You can do it the simple way and just do a simple explanation of what an error is, technically what an error is and technically what a variety is. But you're going to find out real quick that there are some gray areas. And there are gray areas where not even all of the professionals agree.
Okay.
So I'm a very old school person when it comes to errors and varieties, and I like the old school way of thinking, and I try to keep it simplistic. So when I talk about varieties, I talk about it being something that happens during the initial creation of the die. So that eliminates a lot of other things, because a lot of people believe that because certain things like clashes repeat on every coin after the clash occurs, that's a variety. I don't feel that way.
No, it's a repeatable error.
Thank you. See, and that's the older school way of thinking. That's an older school way of thinking. So,
Yeah, Philip
and you're
Tybor
gonna find out that there's die varieties, there are design varieties, things like that. So you can expand it in your description as far as you want to go with it, or you can keep it simplistic. It's your video, your thing, but I know you're planning on releasing it on Monday. You may find out that it's a deeper rabbit hole that you want to go into before you want to make a video about it. Or like I said, or you may decide, okay, I'm going to put it out Friday. I'm just going to do the basics. Because it can be a pretty big rabbit hole.
Well, and so my thing is, what's the intent? So if the intent is to explain the difference, that's very basic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we want to get into why is it this way, or what
Right.
is the difference? And Philip Thibault and Shannon says exactly, it's like an accident versus a variation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, but repunch mint marks are kind of accidental too. See, there are intentional and unintentional varieties. There's intention, so repunch mint marks and doubled dyes are unintentional dye varieties.
so say that one more time.
There's intentional and unintentional varieties. Repunch mint marks and doubled dyes, inverted mint marks, those are all unintentional dye varieties because obviously the dye wasn't intended to be doubled and the mint mark wasn't intended to be punched wrong. So those are
Yeah.
unintentional.
Yeah, gotcha. And Bill's like, so a cut is an error. Yes, it is an error
Yes.
because it's not
And
go ahead.
you're right, because it's not, yeah. Frostbite just did a video on cuts, dye breaks, dye chips.
I need 15 Merc dimes, and I filled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. A little more than half of my Roosevelt dime book.
Yeah, highly fan low life are intentional varieties because that was trickery.
So that was some mint dude got creative.
There's, different schools of thought on that. Some people think that, a dye got dropped on the dye or whatever. I don't know. There's different, the overwhelming consensus on that is that a dye worker had a little extra time on his hands and tooled the dye a little, played with it. And I tend to agree with that. I don't know. That's one time, probably the only time in my entire life I'll ever go against what Ken Potter thinks. He thinks it's a dye gouge. So,
So I would say that I don't think it's a dye gouge, and the reason is it looks too much like a tree. It's got the same wavy lines. It's got that same basic, you know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, but there's a Jefferson nickel, proof Jefferson nickel with a dye gouge. And if you look at that particular error and then you look at the high leaf, low leaf, they look pretty similar. So I can see where he thinks that way.
Okay.
So, are we ever going to know? No. Will we ever know whether the S in the Superbird was intentional or unintentional? No. Will we ever know whether the 5 on the cheek on the Roosevelt dime was intentional or unintentional? No, because we weren't there.
Come on, how can you not say the S in the Superbird was not intentional?
Because if you look at the 5 on the cheek on the Roosevelt, the expert opinion, the consensus on that is that was a hubbed-in debris. And it was it's in the shape of the 5. And that's what they think the S was, a hubbed-in debris. That some string or thread or piece of wire got between the hub and the die when they were creating the die, and it left a incused area on the die, which left a raised thing on the coin. And that makes sense too. It makes perfect sense. There's some Jefferson nickels that people used to think were die gouges, and now they know those are hubbed-in debris. On the reverse, where you see like a little, like kind of semicircular thing through Monticello.
Yep.
Yeah, they thought for a long time that was a die gouge. Now they know it's hubbed-in debris. So that's where you get that's what's so great about this about this hobby, especially when you get into errors like that, is that you have these great minds in the hobby who've written books and articles and still are writing books and articles and have learned, were around when Alan Herbert was around and got to, go into the mint and see every single process of the minting process and laid their hands on things. And some were even like die sinkers, and they don't agree all the time. And that's okay.
So there, I put in your way. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what she's talking about in Hubden debris,
Mm-hmm.
you'll look here. This
See that
is what
straight line? Yeah. And that is the equivalent of a struck through, but it happens during the creation of the die between the working hub and the working die. So instead of it being like if that were laying on the coin and the die struck that, it would be incused on the coin. Instead of that, the strike through happened between the hub and the die. So it left an incused area on the die. So it's raised on every coin that die strikes.
Now, because you've explained that to me in the past, I know exactly what that means.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I look at it, it's like, so now I can understand where these things are happening in the process.
Yeah.
Because I understand the basic premise of relief versus incuse.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that's why that video, the anatomy of the coin, it's really important to understand the anatomy of the coin, because everything tells you where the error has occurred or the likelihood of the error occurred, based off of whether it's raised or incused.
Learning the entire minting process. If you're at all interested in errors and varieties, learning the entire minting process will save you a lot of time, because you'll be able to look at coins that normally you would look at for days and ask a bunch of people like, oh my gosh, what could this be? You'll be able to look at it and go, oh yeah, that could not have happened during the minting process. Or, ooh, that is interesting because it could have happened here during the minting process. So
Bill asks a really good question. So it's not a crack. So how do you know it's not a crack?
It is not a crack. A crack, there's very distinctive features to a crack. If you look at a die crack and then look at that, you'll know that you'll be able to see the difference. Yeah, you have to be able to. I'm losing my words trying to describe it. So a crack is a crack in the die, right? And it's not going to be linear like that. It's going to be jagged. That's very linear. Yeah, and it's smooth. Yeah, it's smooth. A die crack is a fracture in the die, so it's going to have jagged edges, and yeah. Oh, we lost him. It's not gouged. It's struck through. So it's not really a gouge. It's a strike through, basically, between the hub and the die.
I need to learn how not to kick myself out of my own stream.
I know, it's okay. I just kept talking.
It's like, why am I doing this? There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm working this new setup has a little bit of a different structure.
He is pulling
I keep kicking back, and so I'm kicking myself out of my own stream.
Yeah.
So
Angel said you're pulling an Ida.
Well, you know, it's not far from the truth.
Hubbed in debris. That's what I said. Hubbed in debris. Isn't that what I said? It's hubbed in debris. It's like a strike through, but it's between hubbed in debris is like a strike through between the hub and the die, between the working hub and the working die. Guess it could even happen higher up in the chains. But typically it's between the working hub and the working die. And it's basically a strike through between the die, hub and the die. Something is in between them. I said struck. Yeah, I said struck through between the. I thought I said struck through between the hub and the die. But
So when you're looking at, I don't know if you guys can see that on my screen. Did that come up? No, it did not. So a die crack has lots of ridges and folds.
yes,
So there's what I would call anatomical structures on
yeah,
the line. Whereas in this particular one, it's a very smooth, concentric, solid.
hmm
Gotcha.
yes, perfect. Anatomical, I like that. Delineations, yeah.
Shannon, that's just Jack. Hi, Miss Coin Crew. Good to see you, Angel. Thanks for being here. You want to pop on up and say hi, visit for a few? I'll throw that link on in for you. Come on up and say hi, visit for a bit. Oh, man. Shannon, you made me laugh. That was funny. I only half listen to you most of the time.
Yes, that's true, Sharon. Usually a break is attached to, or yeah, it usually doesn't just happen in the field. It's usually in a weak part of the die, so you know, at the end of a device, at the rim.
Cool. Well, so I'm going to do this real quick. So I'm going to shift since I'm out of dimes. So I've done that. So I want to kind of show you a couple of the items that I got from her. So the 53 that you see here, I picked up at the coin shop today.
I love seated.
Say again?
Seated. I love the seated series.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Gobrek is probably my favorite.
Mhm.
I like Gobrek because he's probably my favorite designer. I think I mentioned that when I did the designer video, but I really do like, especially when you see one that's pristine, like, let me pull out this one. Like, that's got a little scratch on it, but that's my 1873. You can see some detail in her hair. Unfortunately, it's got a little bit of environmental damage on it, but
That's all right.
yeah, no. So anyway, I picked that up today because we were at the coin shop and I needed it to fill my dimes for my typeset book, so I picked that up. But this was the other thing, and this, so she traded me one of the ASCs, and I've got to go way high for this one. She traded me this coin, and I just love the coloration in this. Look at the coloration in that.
Well, that's interesting.
It was in the middle of one of the rolls. They were all BU, brilliant, white,
Hmm,
gorgeous. And then this one was just there.
that's interesting.
You look at the back and you can see just the edge of it, but the rest of it's just pristine.
Hmm.
Not sure why it came with the blue color. So,
No.
but
Don't send that in to be graded.
no.
Okay.
No, that goes in my typeset book. That's the only place that thing would be. I normally don't like a lot of toned coins, but blue and green are my favorite colors. So that one was like, oh, I really like that coin. It's really pretty. And pretty is a technical term for it goes in my book. And then this was the other one that we found. We found this one in a mix of Kennedy's, and there were like 4 of them. And they had a couple
Oh,
different.
yeah. So, there's a really, really excellent double die obverse on those stone mountains. And it's on Stone Mountain, particularly Mountain, you can see.
Well, I told her she was going to sell these to the coin store, and I told her to keep them because they're.
Yeah, I like Stone Mountain. I like that.
Well, I like any of the commemorative ones. So clearly not.
I'm not seeing it, but I mean, I'm looking at my phone, so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't see any.
No, I'm looking at it on my tablet now. No, it's not.
Yeah,
But
no, I don't see any thickening of anything.
yeah, it's a pretty big one, that double die. It's pretty. You'll see it right away.
Well, she had 4 of them. They were mixed in with some Kennedys. But yeah, it was really cool to be able to say, look at these and check out what you have. And so I'm going to do a little video.
That would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun. I always thought that would be fun, something fun to offer to around here, because we live in I live in a pretty small town, but it's a huge retirement community. And I imagine there's probably a lot of retired people with coin collections or families that inherit coin collections. I always thought it would be fun to offer that like service, but it's too much work. I don't have the time. It is a lot of work to do that.
Yeah, I spent almost 9 hours sitting with her and going over all these coins and going through everything. But I had so much fun.
Oh, I bet.
Just, listening to stories about her dad and listening to looking at the coins and, going, I wonder where he picked these up. He had old World War II Japanese notes from when they did the internment.
Oh, wow.
He had notes that said property of the Japanese government, centavos for Philippines. They had
Holy moly.
Japanese notes that had like the pound instead of dollars or whatnot. It had pound for the British Isles or the what isles are there?
Don't ask me.
I can't think of what those ones down.
Hey, Nick.
It was a major area. Hey, Nick Molnar, thanks for coming up. One of the major areas for one of the wars. It was down Solomon Islands.
Oh, okay.
And so there were a lot of just really cool things. And looking through some of these things, it was just like, I don't know what any of the value is on any of this stuff, but man, that's so cool. So I told her to keep that stuff and go talk to somebody who knows paper money, and can kind of give you whatever. But it was cool stuff. So it's like, where did he get this stuff? Did he get it in his military travels, or did he get it? Did he pick it up from a coin shop or something? Where did he get these things? Because
Mhm.
like the kookaburras that he got when he was in Australia. The Libertatas he got when he was, at the Air Force Base in New Mexico. Um, so his proximity is what connected him to certain coins. So as they talked about his career, you could see where certain things came to play. And man, it was a lot of fun to talk with her and hear these stories and look at these coins and see, you know, look at coins and see key dates and go, it's like, oh, come on, be it, be it, be it, be it. Ah,
Right.
that's not it, like the 1909 to 1908.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, please be an S, please be an S, you know. So, but it was a lot of fun, and she learned a lot, and I learned a lot, and it was nice to be able to help out a friend. I didn't do it with any intent of getting anything out of it. I did it just to help a friend out, and I got a whole lot of stuff from it. But the intent was just to help, and but it's cool. It was very cool. Hustle Q. Hey, what's up, dude? Wasn't able to stay very long in your stream the other day. You guys started the game and then I had to bail. But thanks for popping in, saying hi, going over a couple cues. This guy does like garage sale stuff and reclaims and resells and
Oh, cool.
does stuff and does a lot of games. And he's got Super Bowl card. Like he's giving away Super Bowl tickets to next year.
What?
Yeah. So one of his things, he does this thing where you can get into a drawing and like get in for a Super Bowl ticket or something.
Oh, wow. You mean like when the 49ers go to the Super Bowl next year? Yeah.
Yeah. So go check out Hustle Q and, tell him Frostbite sent you over and ask him about this stuff and he'll give you the details and give you the lowdown. And he's a lot of fun. He's chilling, but yeah, he's like,
Did somebody drop his link?
he does. I keep telling him, when you're out there doing your his sales and stuff, you find some coins. Let's do a stream, bring them up here, and we'll talk about them and see what he got.
Right.
We need to do some collabs, dude. Remember? Yeah, we talked about this. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but you would need to tell him about the coins before he bought them, or he could end up getting screwed.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Yeah, that is true too. But let me see if I can get his.
But he could always take pictures and send them to you. So should I buy these?
Yeah, exactly. I actually need to get your number, dude. I need to get your digits.
Hey Nick, can you grab Hustle Q's channel link? Or somebody, let's see who else is in here. Oh, Angel probably went to bed.
Yeah, Angel said she was fading.
Yeah.
All right, I got his link in there.
Okay.
Got you. Okay, dude. So now all these people are going to come talk to you, and you're going to have to tell them about this Super Bowl dealio thing you got going on. So go check out his stuff. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude.
My luck. If I won tickets to the Super Bowl, my luck, it would be like the Raiders or
Broncos, Raiders.
yeah, I'd have to sell them. Even as bad as I want to go to Super Bowl, I want to go to one that bad. Sorry for all you.
Well, the only time I ever got to go to a World Series, there was an earthquake. So I don't think I'll be doing that again.
Earthquake?
Yeah, we were at the San Francisco Giants.
Oh.
For the big one that happened there in San Fran.
Wow. Yeah,
Yep.
I grew up down there. So earthquakes, like I was used to them. But they can be scary. We had one really bad one that like put cracks all around our pool, and that I remember that. That one woke me up.
Yeah, I've only been in one. Earthquakes startle me. They're like, oh man, what the hell? What do you do? You
Yeah.
know, go outside and everybody's like, oh man, again, you know, just another shaker. Tornadoes, on the other hand, scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, it's hard to
Tornadoes
know,
are
like,
another thing, man.
it's hard to know which one would be worse because a tornado, you can kind of know like where it's going.
Unless it's dark
Yeah, unless it's dark, that's
and your
true.
power's out,
That's
you have
true.
no radio.
But if you have like a shelter, like a lot of people in those tornado areas have like those underground shelters or whatever. But an
Yeah,
earthquake, it's not like you can go outside and it stops shaking. Like it's still shaking. It's still, and I mean, but there really, how many big, huge ones have there been? There have been a
um,
lot of big, huge tornadoes.
yeah. I mean, you know, there's been a lot. I was stationed in Japan and stuff, and it
Well, overseas,
periodically and stuff.
yeah,
The big thing was uh, the earthquake was one thing, but it was the tsunamis you were always worried about.
yeah.
Um, but I remember living in Durant, Tri-City area, Moline, Rock Island, Illinois area,
Hmm.
and sitting in school, and I was looking out the window, and I said, "Teacher, what does a tornado look like?" She goes, "Well, they have this long funnel, and they kind of come down." And I was like, "So like that?" Pointed out the window, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And about that time, the sirens went off,
Oh my God.
and we all went down, and the gym was downstairs. They had big steel doors, and they shut
Hmm.
the doors. All the students were in there. You could feel the pressure change a little bit, and then it was done, and we went back up. And it had went through a part of town where there wasn't any real buildings, but it hit a chicken coop, and
Oh,
it was like an F2, F3. Hit a chicken coop, and there were a bunch of featherless chickens
oh no
running around,
way.
and that's the only thing really that I remember
Oh
uh,
my God.
of that event was seeing it, and
It
then
plucked
going
them.
out after school and seeing a bunch of featherless chickens.
Oh my gosh, it plucked the chickens. That's
Yeah,
hysterical.
it was pretty cool.
Well, I remember growing up in California, we had fire drills at school and earthquake drills. We
Yeah,
used to have
you
to get under our
go
desks
under
and
your
have
desk,
drills.
which made sense if the roof fell in.
Mm-hmm. All the time, fire drills and earthquake
Yeah,
drills.
you remember the nuclear bomb drills?
The nuclear bomb drills.
Yeah, it's the same thing as a fire drill.
Yeah.
Same thing as a bomb drill. Yeah, yeah. It's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh, crazy. Well, I've never been, actually, that's kind of a lie. I have been in a tornado. Well, not in a tornado. When I was stationed in Wichita Falls, Texas, we were outside and got immediately sent back inside. There was a tornado that touched down on the flight line at Shepherd Air Force Base. And but that was, and all I remember is that we were out there and it was really warm. I want to say it was like June or July, and the temperature dropped like probably 20, 30 degrees, like instantly. It was amazing. It was the weirdest thing. But that's all. I mean, I never saw it. Well, it was like 4 in the morning, so it wasn't even light outside yet, but I never saw it, but it happened. So I guess I was technically. But
Yeah,
I've been in earthquake.
the about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, here in San Antonio, we had a supercell come through, and it dropped massive hail. Now these hailstones
Yeah.
were the size of softballs,
We had
uh,
those when I was in Wichita.
and and it was, I think they called it $1 billion event.
Wow.
Um,
Because it cost
but
that much for insurance, car damage, and
well, yeah,
oh,
and Where I live, it's a pretty nice area. It's not uncommon to see Ferraris and Lambos and Bentleys and an occasional Silver Ghost and stuff like that. But on the other end of town, where the hail was really, really bad, I mean, we're talking about, the ground was white with baseball-sized hail. They had just delivered two brand new trucks of Cadillacs and Audis. They had just pulled them off the trucks,
Oh,
and they just absolutely destroyed the lots. I mean, it just was a total damage. And
oh,
every car, every window was busted out, every hood, dent, ding, door. It hit so hard, some of the cars, it was hitting the frame, like the roll frame in the top, and it was denting because these things, they were literally the size of, softballs.
wow.
And then when it got to our area, and I think I'm going to have to look and see if I can find it. I'll post a picture of it later on. But we had hailstones that looked like circular razor blades, and they were
What?
sticking in trees. Um, we were going outside, and I grabbed my son, and I like, look at those, and they had long.
Climate.
So like it was a little thing, and it had like these long spindle spikes off of them,
Oh my
and
gosh.
they were sticking. So they were hitting, and they were sticking in the branches. Um, it was like, holy cow, that was a wicked, wicked sell. I mean, that was
Wow. How
scary.
many people? That had to have hurt people, at least hurt people.
There were a few. Most of it was property damage. I don't recall seeing too much of the like injury count and stuff like that, but it was there was a lot. Again, like I said, it was like $1 billion event.
Wow. That's scary.
Yep,
That is
it was
really
pretty intense.
scary.
So,
Well,
but
I need to get out of here.
yep,
I've got
gotcha.
a big day tomorrow. Kids moving in, and I got to get some sleep because I'm not going to have any peace and quiet for I don't know how long. I need to get
No,
some
I got
sleep.
you.
All right. Well, it's fun. It was always fun hanging out with you. So I'm really looking forward to that video.
I will
If
be
you need
working
any
on that
help, let me
tomorrow.
know.
I will be reaching out to you. I
Okay.
guarantee.
Perfect. Have a good night, everybody. Have fun.
Thanks, Paula. Thanks,
Okay.
Amanda, for sneaking up here. Thanks for
Bye,
lurking.
Amanda.
Bye.
Shannon, thanks for being here too, man. I appreciate you being up. It's cool to have all y'all come up here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the support. I really do enjoy it. So, Amanda, what was your day like today? What did you do? Anything fun?
Not really. I was sitting with an elderly lady from church.
She sick? Needed help, or what's going on there?
Her daughter and her husband went on vacation and she just needs help at home.
Oh, that's awesome of you. I appreciate. That's cool. That's this is a resource, and I'm going to get into my soapbox here for a minute. But our elderly people are an amazing resource, and we need to remember that because the information and the stories they share, there's pieces of history that we just won't ever see or hear again. So if you have the chance to sit with an elderly person, listen to their story, and be amazed at what you can learn. So is there anything on these, Amanda, other than the thumb, or is it just the thumb that you're looking for?
If these are Philadelphia's, there's actually some nice double die obverses.
They are Phillies. So what are you looking for with the double die here?
Most of them, the Liberty just has extra thickness, and the date has extra thickness.
I hate these cameras. They drive me insane. I need to get, I need to figure out how to do um, a side lighting thing. So it's not this LED lighting that doesn't actually work very well. How do you do your coins? Do you use just the LED, or what do you do to look at yours?
Well, if it's nighttime, I use the LED, but if it's daytime and the sun's coming in my window, I actually set my scope up right beside the window and let the sun hit it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I do most of my searching at night, so I don't think that would help me too much. What I want to do is I want to get, those little light bars that you can buy from like Lowe's or Home Depot
Yeah.
that you put under your sorry, I was reading chat. Oh, that sounds sweet, Jeff. I love dimes, but they hurt my eyes. Yeah, Jeff, I just finished going through 4 rolls. Unfortunately, only filled about half of my book. Didn't find anything really key, but it was 4 rolls of silver dimes that were free, so I could work on my book. So I wasn't complaining and figured that I would share with everybody my little adventure. And I wanted to try out this new format in StreamYard and see how that worked. So I wanted to kind of play with that a little bit. So Shannon, what are you doing? You want to come up and hang out for a while? You've been hanging out there down in chat. You want to come up on the panel? So what exactly are we looking? It's just the thickness?
Yeah, sometimes the best way to tell is to look at the Y in Liberty, and you see how on the right side it's a little thicker normally.
Yeah.
Well, on a double die, it'll be as thick on the left side.
See,
Like
this
that.
is where I need to get. Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah. Video games are paramount. I understand. I have Amanda here, so that's okay. I don't need you. I'm just kidding. I appreciate you guys being up here. I really do. So hopefully we can find at least something. I haven't had any luck finding any kind of. Yeah, go back and watch later. I didn't find, like I said, I didn't find too much. I was able to. I hate those. I was able to find a little more than 50% of my book, the items for my book. Starting with a blank book, I was pretty happy with that out of 4 rolls. Found 1 item for my Merc book, but still missing about 18 items for my Merc book. So I got to start getting onto that one. But it was fun. Again, like I said, this was just really impromptu. I think you all have so much to bring. Your guys' collective knowledge is just amazing. I always just hope that I'm not sounding like an idiot when I'm talking about stuff and that I'm actually adding to the conversation in a positive manner. So when you guys come up and give me correction or confirm that, yeah, that is in fact correct, it really does help cement my knowledge. And being the new man on the totem pole, I've been here what, maybe 5 months? Have I been here 5 months already? Pretty close to that. Machine doubling stuff sucks. See, I don't like the lighting with these. So what I want to try and do is I want to get the incandescent lighting and put light bars on each side and turn those on and turn the LEDs off so that I get distribution. I want to build like a light box that goes around the coin scopes to where you get better lighting all the way around. Because I can't stand LED lighting. It shows too many artifacts, and I can't ever tell what I'm seeing. But now I know why everybody who's done this for a while just uses scopes. Is Coin Junkie still here? I know he had popped in and then popped out, but I wasn't sure if he was still on. And again, we were looking at dimes. We're just doing this one roll as kind of a wrap up. I was hoping Coin Junkie would pop in and look at them with this when I was doing these. Pick these up for a couple bucks today. Now, Shannon, you said that you have a full box of these, or an open box of these. He's like, quit talking to me. I'm checking emails. Well, a little more than halfway through it, not finding much of anything. Figured I would try. Really would like to find something though. Haven't had very much luck. Shannon, welcome, sir. How are you?
Sounds like he's very quiet.
Yes. Maybe on mute. I was like, no, I just said I'd come up on panel. Yeah, Jeff, Philip Thibault, he was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here. I put my first Merc book together, and he was helping me out. And I got about 2/3 of the way done, and now I need to just go through and finish the rest of it. But I really enjoy filling books. I've got all my nickels done. Got my typeset book. Oh, he might be having connection issues. So he had to drop back off. But I enjoy doing the books. Once I get my books done, I'll kind of move to building up my stack a little bit more for, I want to start collecting a couple more gold coins. So start working on little less numismatics, start selling off some of the coins that I've had to buy newer varieties, better quality coins as replacements. But really start focusing on making sure I'm getting a good stack on for some gold and silver. I have a few. I want to get a princess head $3 gold coin. That's going to be my next major purchase because I love those things. What's your favorite coin, Amanda?
I'm really not sure. I have a lot of favorites.
Are you a typeset person? Are you an air person?
I actually kind of like varieties more.
Yeah.
And then I collect world coins.
Just wherever.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of world coins I haven't really looked at. There you go. Let's try it again. That's just a mark on the coin, right? Yeah. Are you there, Shannon? You have a mic issues? I promise you I don't have you muted. I hate this lighting. All right, well, there's only a few more of these to go, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap everything up. I appreciate everybody coming in tonight, spending time with me, having a discussion, talking about these dimes, being able to have that discussion, being able to be challenged on what is a variety versus what is an error. So I will be working on that video. Don't know. I'm going to work on that, trying to come out on Monday. So as soon as I find out more information on how difficult this video is going to be, I'll provide an update. You can probably catch me on some weekend streams. I know I'm going to be moderating for Coin Zone or Coin Crew on Sunday for their auction. So if you have a chance, go ahead and come on over there. Check them out, say hi, show your patronage there. And then may pop into a couple other live streams and show people some channel love. Got a few shorts on some photos that I took of the coins that we looked at with my friend. So stay tuned to some of those. Jeff Brown, the only gold I wanted and got was a St. Gaudens in memory of my uncles. That's awesome. Yeah, my granddad had a gold eagle. Is that the $10 coin or the $5 coin, Amanda? The eagle is the $10 coin, and then the double is the 20.
I'm really not sure. I don't do gold much.
I always get those backwards. I think that's the case. But when he passed away, nobody knows where it went. I got all of his other loosey-goosey stuff, but nobody knows where that particular coin went. He had some other stuff, some paintings and stuff that disappeared as well. So kind of a bummer. it'll be a while before I buy one of those. I think I'm going to have to consolidate my silver stack and just buy a gold coin and then do this periodically. I have to go slow. I got too many kids and too many bills due to those kids. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm preaching to the choir, I believe. All right. Well, I only got 5 more coins. So everybody, I appreciate you coming in. Thanks for stopping by, showing the channel some love. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like and throw something into chat just to make sure that it's there. Shannon, sorry, thanks for coming up. I'm sorry we couldn't get that audio to work for you, but I appreciate you being here, keeping stuff in chat, and for helping with the conversation. I don't know. Let me check something. Oh, yeah. You need. Why in the world? I'm trying to find why. There it is. Let's see here. There. Now you both are blue. I appreciate you all being here. You guys come up enough that it's the least that I can do. All right. So again, y'all take care. Y'all be blessed. I only got 1 more coin left. Doesn't look like we're going to find anything in this roll, but is what it is. You got to try. So I'm going to be out of here. Everybody take care. Find somebody who's on. Go over and say hi to Big Flip or somebody else. I think Big Flip's still on. So if you want to go over and say hi to Big Flip. So y'all take care. Thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend, and we will see you guys later.